Okay, we're now recording. All right. Happy Thursday, everyone, and welcome to Yappy Hour with PG&J's Dog Bar and Friends. Today we have guests Ellie and Leah over here. Say hi, Leah. And we also have a special guest, Jennifer Williams, who is the founder and owner of Cuddle Clones. And before we let her talk about her business, just to bring everyone up to speed, each week what we do is we feature one of our local partners, is what we like to call them, and it's a local business that's either pet friendly, pet centric, whether that's supplies or services or anything like that. So today we have Jennifer Williams with Cuddle Clones, and it's a really neat business, and I would love for you to tell our guests more about it.
Sure. So in my past life, I was not an entrepreneur. I was closest to, I guess, an accountant. So never thought about starting a business, nor in the pet industry for that matter either. But I've always loved pets. And there was one day I was laying around with my Great Dane. He was a Harlequin. So he was white with black patches and two different colored eyes. And I remember thinking, I'm like, oh, it'd be really cool to have a stuffed animal of you, Rufus. And he didn't reply to me, but I was like, I think it's a really cool idea. Like, it's not like I could go into a store and find a stuffed animal that looked just like him. And so this was long time ago, and I was fine in my job, didn't even think anything of it. But then a couple years later, I enrolled in the entrepreneurship MBA program at the University of Louisville. And since it was focused on entrepreneurship, one of the first classes was keeping a discovery journal all semester long and writing out, any ideas that you had. And we had to present what we thought were our top two ideas to the class. And the stuffed animal of your pet always stuck around with me. And, what's interesting is now that I'm an entrepreneur, I have business ideas every day. But the first thing you do now is you go to Google and you're like, is anyone else doing this? And, normally you'll see, oh yeah, there's already 10 companies. Okay, I'll pass on this idea. But back then when we researched it, it really didn't exist. There was one lady out in California that was herself the artist and making movie doubles. So very particular scenes in movies that needed a fake animal that looked real. That's what she was doing.
Oh.
And so that's really the only thing we found out there. And hers were $750, $800. And so I'm like, okay. So anyway, the idea became a class project of ours. And we were fortunate. So over the 2 years of the MBA program, we did all the academic stuff, wrote a business plan that was completely off base, trying to project numbers.
Yeah.
And we were fortunate enough to win a little bit of money from some competition. So think your Shark Tanks, but it's within the school networks. So they compete against each other in these business plan competitions, and then you can win prize money. And so we ended up winning about 40 grand. And at the end of the program, there were two of us on the team that decided, hey, should we try to maybe explore this further? And, we're both like, yeah. And then we're like, do you know how to make a stuffed animal? I'm like, no, do you? No, we had no practical experience, but, we had this idea and a business plan. So we were able to it took us 2 years and that prize money to try to figure out, okay, how do we do this? And we tried, we started in the US, we had big plans to make them in the US, but that wasn't going to happen because it would be $1,000. No doubt in my mind that that's how much it would cost per each one. So that wasn't going to work. So then we ended up with some consultants over in China and went through a lot of different prototypes. Some of them were awful. And then finally a few
Can you show us, you have one of your prototypes in your office, don't you?
Actually, I have it right here. Yes.
Yeah. Let's see one of the first ones.
Yeah, it's good I didn't have to go downstairs.
Maybe you need to tell us what it's supposed to be first, or are we going to guess?
I don't have that picture, but this is one of the first ones.
Oh,
and it looks like a beanie. It looks like a beanie baby.
It does, yeah.
This was one that was sort of number 2.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay. It looks like a pretty generic stuff. But then now, as we get further along, so cute.
Cute. That is
They
cute.
get their name on their tag, so this is Jaws.
Jaws.
And then, people get to choose whether they're sitting, standing, or lying down.
Oh, I love it. Who's this?
So over the years, we've gotten a lot better.
Yeah.
But those early days, we never did find a manufacturer that really wanted to be our partner. And so we could have given up back then, but I'm just like, well, why don't we just start our own then? So we end up, we legally own an entity in China that is our manufacturer. So they're our direct employees. We pay their salaries. They're a great team. Early days, we were, maybe like 5 people. I went to China for about a month to get it started. And, just gave a PowerPoint presentation, and we had a translator, and I'm like, here's what we want to do, and go for it. But, fast forward, that was 2013. So yeah, 7 years ago.
Wow.
And then we've had pockets of, we're going viral. Like the first time we ever hit BuzzFeed and USA Today, like sort of the mainstream article type sharing was in 2015. And back that year, we might have been making maybe 20, maybe 50 a week, maybe. And then we went viral and we were selling like 100 a day over like a 3-week period. So we had some growing pains, but they were the good kind. And so, yeah, we've pretty much grown every year since then. We've added different products here and there. So really our specialty is products of your pet, meant to kind of celebrate your pet. They're not for your pet, they're sort of for the person. But we added, some maybe more competitive type products like mugs and blankets with your pet on it, but they're so easy for us to do because we already have all of your pictures.
Right.
And so we've got all these pet profiles, where you've saved your pictures and you can just apply any picture that you have saved in your profile to any product. So it's really easy for us to kind of add on those types of things.
So when did you decide to add those different types of products? Was it a demand from customers, or was it just to try to offer them different things?
Yeah, even in the very first days, we had what we call the figurines. I don't have any of those, but those are 3D printed in sandstone. And so that was right around when 3D printing got popular. So I was just a big fan of 3D printing. I'm like, ooh, we should 3D print your pets. And so those are kind of always been on there. But the pet print line, which is sort of the image on a product, like a mug or blanket or phone case, those we added at the end of 2018. So pretty recently. And it was just something we had to research, and because we're not the manufacturer of those, they're typically farmed out to the mug manufacturer and the blanket manufacturer and things like that. So we just kind of had to get that together. And then most recently, if we do get into any of the COVID discussion, we did add face masks.
Yes, so talk about that.
Yeah, it was kind of a trending product, and we're like, oh, we could probably create, something super cute. So not only do we have a custom face mask where you can put your pet on it, but we have a couple generic products. We've got a little dog one that says it's rough out here. Mm-hmm. And then we've got a cat one that says, close your meow, I'm not kidding around.
Close your meow. That's hysterical.
Yeah, so they're pretty cute and they've done well. I mean, we were starting to struggle a little bit on the demand side, as a lot of businesses were, but given the fact that we're 100% e-commerce, we don't have any stores that we had to shut down. So we've been pretty much open the whole time for business. And the masks has really helped us kind of secure the cash levels that we need in case, things are unknown. They're still unknown. And so, we looked at, maybe having to do some layoffs, but now we don't really have to with those
You're
sales.
doing something. You got a really neat incentive with those masks. What is that? Tell people.
Oh, well, we do donate. I think there's an equivalent of like every mask feeds a shelter pet for a day. And we're just about to do the May donations. So we basically take the total of whatever was purchased for May, and then we split that up into like 10 different shelters. So that's actually on our blog, like who we donate to. And people can always suggest on social media, like if they have a particular shelter they want us to donate, they can suggest one. And we've always kind of done that in our history, but we kind of wanted to tie like a specific number to each mask. So we did that.
Awesome. So you have very unique gifts. So listen to this, Ellie. Golf club covers.
Oh,
Aw.
yes.
Do you have an example of that by any chance close to you?
Not sitting here, no.
Okay. But
No,
it's
but yeah,
really, really
golf
cute
club
if
head
you go to their
cover.
website. Golf club covers, like I can just imagine Paco's head just sticking out of a golf. And since I have 4 dogs, we can have one for each.
Yeah, the
One for
driver,
each
the
club.
3-wood,
Yep.
the
Yep.
5-wood.
So is there anything else that I've forgotten that you want our audience to know? You do blankets, you do phone covers. I mean, I know they can go to the website and find this stuff out.
Yeah, let's see. So mugs and blankets are kind of the popular ones in that sort of space. We have phone cases, we have canvas prints. And our figuring, yeah, we actually have jewelry. So
really?
you can get
I didn't know that.
little tiny miniature of your pet in necklace form or earring form, and those are also 3D printed in sandstone. So those are kind of neat.
Oh, that's kind of cool. Yeah, I didn't know you did jewelry.
Yeah, and then on the plush side, we have the golf head cover, and then we have slippers. So if you actually wanted to wear
That's right. That's right. That's what I was thinking I was missing were the slippers. Yeah, that's awesome.
A lot of people want one slipper of each pet, so we do that.
You do? You do that? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I remember when I went to go visit your warehouse, how you had this box of either they were mess ups or whatever, and it's all these eyes were just poking their heads out, staring at you.
Yeah.
And did you do some type of Frankenstein? Did you do a Frankenstein animal, like just take parts of one, or was that like one of your things you're like, would this be funny if we did a parrot head?
No, we didn't, but we used to offer a service where we would pretty much make a stuffed animal of whatever you designed. So we did some dragons and things back in the day. There was a chimera, which I think it was like, for that, it was like half bear, half giraffe. Like, it was very strange. But we stopped doing that because as a brand, we really wanted to be known as not a plush company, but a pet company. And so even though those were very high margins, because we charged more for those because we didn't have a template design, we stopped that, and I don't regret doing that because we really wanted everything to be about pets. And we do get the questions like, do you do humans? And we're like, no,
that would be kind of weird.
I don't want to do humans. Gross.
I think that's another whole industry that
well, yeah.
Plush humans.
Yeah. Well,
go
one lady
ahead.
was very sincere. She said, would you be able to do a baby? Because my father really wants to hold his granddaughter, but can't during COVID, so it was a very specific request. And I said, well, unfortunately we don't do humans, but that's an interesting idea.
Yeah. So if you don't have any questions, Ellie, or if I didn't leave anything else out, we won't be on here very long, obviously, but why don't you tell people how they can reach you?
Sure. So our website is cuddleclones.com. If you can search Cuddle Clones on Google, you can Google stuffed animal of my pet, and we should come up. And if you do visit our site, you may likely on the next day or the day after see an ad from us. So yeah, there's different ways.
Well, I'm excited, and I'm excited also for our customers at the dog bar to be able to pick up some information, some literature or whatever that we can have.
Yeah, and we just ordered a bunch of brochures, so I could definitely give you a bunch.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's all for today. I want to thank you, Jennifer, so much for coming on today and sharing telling us about your business. And Ellie, thank you for your support of the dog bar. And we love Leia because she's adorable. And
hopefully we'll see her at the dog bar.
Yes, well, so right. So we'll go ahead and we'll post your contact information when we post the video. And as always, the whole point of doing this is to be a resource for you and your pet. So if you are watching this and you have another pet-friendly business that you would like to highlight, just message me. Thanks so much for joining. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.